Weak and pathetic.
The prophecy is true.
Hello guys, welcome my new video. Blast vs Boros, a fight that everyone would love to see. These two are powerhouses in One Punch Man world. Their power is very close to each other. I mean, Peak Saitama and Cosmic Fury are way stronger than both of them. But the rest of characters like Sairochi or Tatsumaki are way weaker than them. There is a theory that Blast was the opponent that Boros had been looking for so long. 20 years ago, Garou wasn't born yet, and Saitama was 5 years old kid. But Blast was already active and he was already strong. So let's start with Blast. Blast is a mighty human. He's about 40 years old. He was already adult when he saved Tatsumaki, and that was 18 years before in the time of the series. So he should gain a lot of combat experience over this many years of his hero activity. His strongest trait, in my opinion, is his speed. Blast is much faster than Flashy Flash, and also he was able to fight on par with Cosmic Fury, which is many forms above speed of Flashy Flash. He's also strong physically. He was able to playing like a toy with a black cube, which is extremely heavy. He is Esper, which not many people know, and Gravity Knuckle is probably psychic abilities. In the end, nearly all psychic we saw in the series use some kind of gravity manipulation, Garugan Shop or Psycho. He can also manipulate space, and use portals and teleports. So his fighting style is based on hacks, by surprising his opponents with teleportation and then hitting him with Gravity Knuckle, which is very thoughtful, very good idea of fighting. However, his great power, he got few very serious anti-feats. 1. Blast's perfect combination on Garou did not inflict any serious damage on Garou. When we compare Garou's face after being hit by Saitama and Blast, we can see difference. Saitama's punches left some serious scratches. Blast didn't. 2. Blast did not feel Saitama's power when they met, which is very sad because we learned that Garou was able to measure Saitama's strength because he was on the same tier, and so Blast didn't sense his power, he must be way weaker. Moreover, Boros, when he met Saitama, was able to say that Saitama's power was unlimited, which may scare him a little higher, may, not must. 3. We don't know Blast's durability, he wasn't hit in the series yet, but we know that Psychic are very vulnerable to damage, and that is very huge weakness. Tatsumaki went from being able to squash entire city to not being able to immobilize Fury Agre when her head was damaged. That's huge weakness for Blast. 4. Blast, despite all of his power, was not able to catch Eden Centipede. It's very sad, because Eden Centipede grew stronger after every heavy battle. So the one Genos fight with Silverfang is already way stronger than the one Blast fight. Moreover, one of the Garou's form, much weaker than Cosmic Fury, was able to one-shot Sage Centipede, many times stronger than Weakling that Blast wasn't able to catch. Let's go to Boros' session. Boros was an alien from unnamed race. He was leader of Space Pirate, and for 20 years he has been conquering planets in search of his rival. That's why his combat experience must be enormous, maybe the best in entire series. Even Garugan Shop, his henchman, according to Murata, is more skilled psychic than Tatsumaki, which means that Boros also have great experience against psychic. He is mainly physical fighter and his parameters and feats are amazing. He could withstand many blows of Saitama, damaged Saitama, was prized by Saitama, and after he kicked Saitama in the moon, when Saitama back he used even more power. That's truly amazing. He can manipulate energy, has great regeneration, and what is most important, he senses strength of Saitama, which may scale him quite high. The problematic is however his attack potency, because in the manga he only threat to destroy surface of Earth, in the anime destroying entire planet, and in the guidebooks he could destroy entire star, which is very problematic. His fighting style is extremely aggressive, because he don't need to worry about any damage he take. Although his great power, there is few things that may be his anti-feats. 1. since Boros fight only against Saitama, it's really difficult to judge his power, and many people downplay his speed to level of speed of light, using some calculation to kicking Saitama in the moon, which in my opinion is not correct. Why? Because if Boros, meteoric burst Boros, is as fast as speed of light, then he's already slower than Flashy Flash, and that don't make any sense. Because Saitama, as a person who is looking for excitement from battle, should be very happy when he meets someone faster than his faster, strongest, more powerful opponents. But when Saitama meets Flashy Flash, he's not excitement at all. The only similar reaction to Simon's speed is when Saitama meet the base of Cosmic Fury Garu. The panels are nearly the same. 2. Saitama is getting stronger every single day. He's still training, making push-ups, he's running, you know. So Saitama from Garu's arc should be stronger than Saitama from Boros' arc. However, it's completely impossible to say how many times stronger he got. It's maybe 2%, 20%, or maybe 20 times stronger. We don't know. So I'm going to assume that he should be on the same tier of power. There is also a gene simulation argument, but it's wrong, and I'm going to make another video about this. So these are our fighters, but who would win? There is a lot of arguments for both sides. So the easiest thing is to answer 3 smaller questions. Can they hurt each other? Can Blast Protast be effective against Boros' Energy Blast? And can I keep up with each other? Is their speed similar? Boros' speed is truly outstanding. He was able to keep up with Saitama, prize bite him, and like I said before, the reaction to his speed is the same as when Saitama reacts to base Cosmic Fury Garu speed. So for this video I'm going to assume that Boros' speed in combat is in the middle of normal Saitama, you know, so below Saitama's combo and serious punch, but in the middle of his normal punch. Blast speed is much more difficult to estimate, because he got few bizarre feats. For example, he was able to react to serious punch from Saitama and Garu. He activated his skills and teleport the energy far from Earth. However, it's not so clear, because first person to react to Saitama's serious mode was Garu, who also activated his power and counter-attacked Saitama, when Blast only raised his hand. And the second thing, much more important for me, is that if Blast was as fast that serious Saitama would look like in the slow motion, then what the hell he allowed Garu to kill Genius? That don't make any sense. Also, if he was as fast as serious Saitama, his fight against Garu should end in 1 second. The another thing important is that some people say that Blast was holding back against Garu because he was to save other people. And that may be true in terms of using some devastating large area attacks, but not in terms of speed. Because if you want to save someone, you need to act as fast as possible, and the first Blast combo was extremely fast. In terms of speed, he wasn't holding back, at least in my opinion. The most important is Cosmic Fury Garu. On the beginning, his first form is similar in terms of speed to final form of Boros, but after that he copied Saitama and matched his speed and power. Next, he imitated the power of Gamma Ray Burst, and then he fight against Blast. And the crucial question is if Cosmic Fury Garu during his fight against Saitama was still using Saitama mode or not. Because if he was using, then Blast should be not only fast in terms of reaction time, but also combat speed. If not, then Boros should be at the same tier in combat speed, but slightly worse or maybe worse in terms of reaction time, which make this fight still interesting. Can they hurt each other? That's a very difficult question, because Blast wasn't hit yet in a series, so we don't know his durability. We know that his espers and Psychic are very vulnerable to damage. According to Cosmic Fury Garu, he is below Saitama, at least serious Saitama. So we can compare him to Tatsumaki, and we know that she is Esper and her attack potency is much greater than her durability. So using that, we can assume that if Boros land one or few hits on Blast, that should be end of fire for Blast, because his power would decrease to the level that Boros would be able to defeat him easily. Boros is well known from his durability, from his regeneration, and he was able to withstand many punches of Saitama. Even his armored form was able to withstand punch, and this punch was more likely to be normal punch. That may be controversy because Saitama didn't say normal punch, but it's not always happened. For example, when he one-shot Rover, he didn't say one punch, say Seed. When he destroyed Carnage Mode Kabuto, he also didn't say normal punch. And finally, when he destroyed Orochi, Monster King Orochi in the first version of their fight, he one-punched him, and after that he was asked by dying Orochi what was that, and then he said normal punch. So Saitama do not need to say that it's normal punch when he used it. Also, he was quite serious. I mean, he knew that the city was destroyed, and he compared him to telemarketers, which isn't the best thing to say about something. You know, telemarketers are only 2 steps below politics and communism. And finally, if you're going to use some guidebooks from anime, then this first punch on Armored Boros is known as a first punch. Or the same name is used to other punches and his combination, so it's most likely that even armor form is able to withstand normal punch. Also, his released form withstand blows of Saitama, probably another normal punch, and lose only one hand. So his durability is well beyond durability of Blast. Being able to withstand blows is the one thing, but being able to hurt somebody is another. And we know that Boros was able to hurt Saitama, and during one moment of their fight, Saitama raises his hands and guards his head, which is quite unusual because he nearly never raised guards. So he should be able to hurt Blast. From Blast's part is not so clear, because his perfect combination on Garu didn't have any serious damage on Garu. Moreover, the smaller portal skills was already overcome by energy of nuclear fission from Garu. And these punches may be weaker or may be stronger than normal punches of Saitama. So we must decide which scale we use. Also, being able to send Boros to some place in the universe isn't best winning condition. Think, if Blast will send him to the worst place in the universe, that would be Boros' homeland. So, it's possible for Boros to hurt Blast, and the same is possible for Blast. But Blast didn't have any ability that would one-shot Boros. And Boros have ability to very highly decrease power of Blast because he is a psychic. Let's go to the third part. Now, the final question is difficult but very simple. Are Blast portals strong enough to withstand Boros' energy beam? Blast used his portals to deflect attacks 2 times, once against Cosmic Fury Garu and his combination of Nuclear Fission Fist and Gravity Knuckle, and already the energy of this attack was above his portals because he said himself that energy of these attacks are overloaded his portals, and another time against Sirius Punch Square, when he focused his entire energy into one portal, and this portal it was already destroyed, and he needs support from 3 other characters on his level or even stronger. So it's not easy task, because once again, Boros' final attack may be scaled to being able to destroy surface of Earth, to being able to destroy entire star. And attacks of Cosmic Fury Garu can be scaled in the same tier, or even a little below. For example, his Gamma Ray Burst is scaled to destroy star, probably big star. But at the same time, his Nuclear Fission Fist isn't so impressive. Or you can also scale that Saitama Seiyu's Taibi Flip destroy only surface of small moon, when Boros' attack should be able to destroy surface of entire planet and even more. So, from my perspective, Blast's smaller portals shouldn't be able to withstand Collapsic Row Canyon. And it's probably that his big portals should be able to withstand that. But it's nothing sure because once again, you can scale and use different feats to scale in a completely different way. So please write in a comment what you think about that. Which feats you would prefer to scale lower from Blast or maybe higher from Boros. And let's go to So After all these words, I think it's fair to say that Blast and Boros can be scared to the same tier. However, Blast can be scared at the same time higher than Boros and lower than Boros. So we can have two scenarios of winning this fight. Scenario A, when we're going to use only the best feats from both of them, without worrying about any anti-feats. In this scenario, Blast should win probably low, maybe medium difficulty, because he should be faster and be able to put some damage on Boros, and Boros still have some chance, and Blast must be careful, but it's not something extremely dangerous. And scenario B, when we're going to remember all anti-feats, that Blast didn't sense Saitama power, that he didn't catch a centipede and so, and in that scenario, Boros should win, but probably a high, very high difficulty, and fight will most likely going to end with draw and Blast will just send him away from Earth. Please write what you think about this, who should win. Please subscribe this channel, my goal for this year is 500 subscribers, maybe I would achieve this level. And now let's go to final part, prediction. What new chapters will change in this fight? Already I think that we more or less know where Blast should be in terms of power scaling, how fast he is, how strong he is, but I think that in next chapters we will learn more about him and his skills and maybe new powers. Also it's theory that his song Blue have some cybernetic enhancement because his eye already have some sensor. So it's possible that Blast also has some cybernetic enhancement, so that would change the outcome of this fight. And for Boros' perspective, among Blast teammates, there is already members of Boros' race. Is that Boros from another timeline, or maybe some youngster who team up with the rest of people to defeat Boros? We don't know, and definitely the outcome of this battle will change in the next few years when we learn more about these two fighters. I hope you liked this video, please write new idea for new video on this channel, I will read all your comments, and probably in the next month, maybe two, I'm going to make some reaction to best question, best comments under this video. Hope you like it, see you soon!